assume that you are a priest of God, but you see, the most dominant expression of your life is an advertisement to whose priest you are. So if immorality defines your life outside the stage, it means that you are a priest after that altar. And every time you stand up in front of the people of God, you are just taking advantage of our platform to advance the priesthood of the altar of immorality. It's one of the ways in which darkness is mass producing in church, because we think anybody who used to sing in a club can get born again yesterday night and come to sing in church today. He still comes with club material and he still imparts it. Melchizedek was singled out as the priest of the Most High God. The demand for this conference is that we find men whose only reality is God himself. That's all that we're looking for. It is only those who have labored into that direction that can change the narrative on the scene. When I speak about God alone, or when I speak about God, I mean God alone. There are many bipolar priests that you can derive from them the consciousness of many spirits. In the morning, if you meet him because he's fresh from his bed, he's a priest of God. If you meet him in the afternoon, there is another spirit that has taken advantage of his position to project. If you meet him in the night, it's another person you are meeting. We will need to take our stand with God in consecration. That's why you find out that there is a band that is across the heads of Aaron and his sons, and is tagged holiness unto God. Now, holiness and purity are two different realities. Holiness means if anything comes out of this vessel, it is dedicated to only one person. I used to give a common example, because the last time I went home, mommy served us tea. I went to my family, and even though we really wanted to take a lot of tea, there's one very big mug in our house. We call it daddy's mug. If it breaks, we replace it. Even if all the other cups in the house are dirty, we see it as being insulting to drink tea from his mug. That mug is an example of what holiness is. It means this cup has been dedicated to one person. Even if you drink tea from it, which is a noble thing, you will have infringed on the terms of its existence, because it's supposed to be for one person. However, when he finishes drinking tea, the holy cup becomes a dirty holy cup. So you don't file it back into the cabinet. The holy cup goes into a sink. What we are dealing with in the sink is purity. That's sanctification. We are washing it, but it's still his cup. You remember those cups in the days of Daniel? These cups were holy cups. Only the El Elyon was designed to drink from them. They packed the cups, they put them in a room. They must have been dusty cups. So a few men performed some rites of sanctification, and when human beings began to drink from them, the hand of the owner of the cup appeared. It was a court session, and they were not allowed to speak. The ones drinking didn't know when they were weighed. They didn't know when they were measured. And when the verdict came, you have found one thing, we are dividing it. When we see priests rise after that order, men that we can fully confirm as the priest of the Most High, then most of the people who trouble us will feel the wrath of God. God will defend the church when the church walks into holiness. I left home this morning. After a while, my wife could not reach me because of network. She was worried. So I said a lot of text, because we still heard one Niger State news 2 days ago. I think it's Shiroro also. And I told my wife, rest. We can't be on the go for Jesus and then bandits touch us. A day will come where the lands that surround us, because of the number of priests that Jesus is raising, where the lands will be holy lands. We will not need to build a church on them, but men will claim them in the spirit and they will be dedicated to